Hey, I'm Jimmy Mason. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite ways to fish, the YUM FF Sonar Minnow. This bait is got very popular the last few years since Jason won the Classic on it, uh, and just as the explosion of fishing on live scope. But one of my favorite ways to fish it in the ledges in the summertime is not necessarily using my live scope to watch it. For years we've used a big hair jig on the ledges to get a lot of reaction bites on fish that are out on the ledges that are real inactive. And that's what I do with this 5-inch FF Sonar Minnow. What I do is I put it on a 1/2 ounce jig head. This is the 1/2 ounce YUM Recon head. It's got a screw lock so it keeps it up there really tight so that when you're jerking it off the ledges, that bait's gonna stay secured to the head of the jig head. The way I fish it is when I pull up on a ledge, a shell bed, or somewhere on the ledges where I know that there's a school of fish. I can see them, they're not active, so I'm not necessarily going to stare at my graph, really concentrating on them. What I want to do is I want to try to get a reaction strike by casting out there, letting it fall to the bottom, right there on the target, on the shell bed. And I'll make 4, 5, 6 really fast cranks on my reel handle. I'll keep my rod at about a 45-degree angle, about the 10 o'clock position. I call it the hook set position, and I'll crank it up real fast, let it get to the top of the peak of the lift, and I'll kill it and let it fall vertically. As soon as my line goes slack and it hits the bottom, then I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to make 5 or 6 cranks, let it fall to the bottom. I use a fairly light line. This is 12-pound test, so it gets a really natural drop. And so often when you go to start that next crank, you'll get 1 or 2 cranks in, you'll realize a fish is got it as it's falling down, and then you just want to keep your retrieve going and pull back on your rod and just pull on into them. It's a really great way to catch a lot of big fish. As that bait's falling, it's zigzagging to the bottom. It's real erratic, and then it pops up off the bottom into their face, and it gets a lot of reaction bites. Give it a try next time you're on a ledge lake, and you'll catch a lot of fish doing this.